Hi everyone, welcome to this tutorial on how to get started with the Vue Split Button component. The Vue Split Button has a primary button to select the default action and a secondary button to toggle between different contextual overlays that display the list of action items when a drop-down arrow is clicked. In this video, I am going to show you how to add the Syncfusion Vue Split Button component to an app, use its separators and icons, and display it in different positions. I will start with the application creation process. I'm going to create a Vue application using the Vue Vite command. Make sure you have installed the latest versions of Vue and Node.js. I edit my code using Visual Studio Code and view the output on a supported browser. To create a project in Vue, open Visual Studio Code and type the command npm create Vite at latest. Then, provide the app name, My Vue App. Next, I choose Vue as the framework and JavaScript as the variant. The Vue project has been created. I navigate to the newly created Vue app and install the required dependencies using the npm install command. Now the application is configured with the default settings of a Vite project. To add the Syncfusion Vue Split Button component, install the Syncfusion Vue Split Buttons package using the command npm install at syncfusion /ej2 Vue Split Buttons --save. This command will install the Vue Split Buttons package along with its dependencies. Once the installation is completed, the application is ready to use. The first thing I must do here is register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. I open the main.js file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. To see how to generate this license key, refer to the link in the description below. The application is now configured to use Syncfusion Vue components. To start using the Split Button component, I open the app.vue page and remove the default code. I import the Split Button component from the Syncfusion Vue Split Buttons package. And register it globally along with its child directives. Inside the template tag, I add the split button by adding the EJS split button tag and set the content to paste. Now, I am going to add 4 paste options to this paste button. I define an object called items, add an array of objects with the text property, and set an appropriate value to it. I assign this item's object to the items property of the split button component. Finally, I add the required CSS references by importing the material theme. I have also added dependent CSS references like buttons and pop-ups. I save the changes and run the application using the npm run dev command. You can see the split button component rendered with the content paste and different paste options, paste, paste special, paste as formula, and paste as hyperlink in the dropdown. Notice that the split button items are displayed continuously. If you want to group and separate these options, you use the separator property. To display a separator after the first 2 options, I add one more item to this array and set the separator property to true. See now, the separator is shown after the first 2 options. Next, I will show you how to add an icon to the split button component. I define the icon CSS property and set appropriate class names to it. Within this style section, I define a font face with a specific source path and name. I set the font face attribute to DDB icons to access the paste icon for the split button component at the application level. Then, I assign an appropriate content value to these class names assigned to the icon CSS property to access the paste icon. As you can see, the split button is displayed with the paste icon. Similarly, you can add icons for the pop-up items. Notice that the button icon is placed on the left side of the button content. To change the icon position, I set the icon position property to the top. Checking now, the icon is placed at the top of the button content and the pop-up items are listed vertically. To list those items horizontally, I need to add custom styles to the CSS class property of the component. To demonstrate, I define the custom class custom pop-up items and add the CSS styles like float and padding left. I then assign this custom class to the CSS class property of the component. I remove the separator item from the array object. Now, when I click the drop-down arrow, the split button pop-up items are displayed horizontally. Next, I will show you how to disable an item from the pop-up. As I want to disable the paste special option, I set the disabled property of the item to true. You can see the paste special item is in a disabled state. Finally, to disable the split button, I set the disabled property to true in the EJS split button tag. Checking now, the split button component is disabled. In this video, I have shown you how to create a Vue application and add the Syncfusion Vue Split Button component to it. You also saw how to add icons and separators, display the pop-up items horizontally, and disable the component. If you would like to see a working example of this, you can download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also provided a link where you can see if you qualify for a free license key to use our Vue products through our community license. If you found this video useful, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.